Yo, yo, yo! Welcome to Urban Gameplay Weekly Gaming News Updates. Time for Mad Pepper to bring you that heated news.
Yo, it's that time of the month where we get a chance to look at the upcoming freebies for the month of February 2018 for those with the all-important gold membership. First up and available from the 1st of Feb up until the 28th of the month is Shadow Warriors, which is basically a first-person shooter where you take control of the modern ninja mercenary Lo Wang as he fights through levels of demonic herds. Looking at some of the reputable gaming sites online, the average review score for the game comes in at around 7 out of 10, with an issue being that the boss fights do feel a little bit repetitive at times, but the game on the bright side is jam-packed with action. To be honest, apart from familiarity with the front cover of the game, this hasn't really been a game on my personal radar. Looks like a decent old school style shooter to test out, but nothing major for me to be overexcited. From the 16th of Feb all the way up until the 15th of March 2018, Gold members will be able to download Assassin's Creed Chronicles India, which is a single-player platform adventure set on a 2.5D plane. Critics have been quite stern when scoring this game, with the game averaging a 6 out of 10, with the general consensus being that you will become frustrated with some of the cheap deaths that the game presents, but on the bright side, the game is extremely colourful and the environments look awesome. I personally own Assassin's Creed Chronicles China on the Xbox One, and whilst the scores for these specific Assassin's Creed games has kind of been a little bit mediocre, I actually enjoyed China, so whilst this game is another game that wasn't really on my personal radar of games to buy, I still feel that it probably will still be a great little pick up and play game to simply add to my library. Moving on to the Xbox 360 list and playable through backwards compatible, we have Split Second, which will be available from the 1st of Feb up until the 15th of February. In Split Second, players take part in a fictional reality TV program where participants race for money and glory. Throughout a race, players can build up their power play meter by performing stunts such as jumps and precision driving, such as drafting opponents and drifting. The game has scored pretty decent amongst critics, with the game averaging close to an 8 out of 10, and the game has been applauded for its longevity and graphics. Keeping it real, I don't even think I've heard of this game before, or it simply has slipped my mind, but I do think it's a decent game to add to my library, as visually it does look cool and the gameplay looks super fun, even though it's close to 8 years old. Last and certainly not least is one of my all-time classic games in Crazy Taxi, which will be available from the 16th of Feb up until the 28th of February 2018 on both the Xbox 360 and Xbox One. For those who never heard of Crazy Taxi before, which would probably surprise me, this is basically a score attacking game where the players control one of several taxi drivers in a fictional city, looking for fares and taking them to their destination in the fastest time possible. Crazy Taxi on the Xbox 360 has averaged a 6 out of 10 amongst critics, which is pretty mediocre, but I guess the ported version did come with issues in comparison to the original on the Sega Dreamcast, which obviously received a much more higher review score. The driving physics in the port seems to be an issue, but the addictive gameplay seems to be where the game really shines, as you will be playing this game for hours upon ends. I'm not gonna lie, I personally was shocked by the review scores for this game, but I guess where the game really shined was on the Sega Dreamcast, where the game scored as high as 9 out of 10s across the board. Nonetheless, I still enjoyed the 360 port of the game, as to me it was definitely nostalgia at its finest. I own the physical version of the game, but getting the game digitally would certainly be a real awesome thing, because it will at least save me from having to dig out the disc every time I want a quick game of Crazy Taxi. Overall, I will say that February 2018 seems to be a pretty mediocre month for games with gold, to say the least. All the games I probably will still be downloading, because I do think they're all worth to be added to my library and playing at some point, but there isn't anything in that list that makes me want to sidetrack from my current backlog of games that I'm trying to get through. Anyway peeps, what do you make of the lineup for games with gold for February 2018? Is there anything in there that tickles your fancy, or is there anything that you prefer wasn't in there? As always, if you enjoyed this urban gameplay video, be sure to hit that like button, and until next urban gameplay video, we definitely say peace out peeps.
Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for more cool urban gameplay videos.